Okay, everyone. Without further ado, let's get started with this orientation. First off, if you're in this orientation for the stage 3 dissertation, congratulations. The light at the end of the tunnel is very much present and obvious at this point. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to get all of you together and talk a little bit about exactly what the steps and processes are so that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted before we're ready to walk the stage. And we very much look forward to that. So the orientation series includes orientations to launch when you enter the program, candidacy, and the final stage that we're in right now, dissertation. The dissertation completion one allows for graduates of both the spring, fall, and summer semesters to understand exactly what the processes are and what sort of support is available from the graduate school to make this process as smooth as possible and make sure all your paperwork's in order and all the deadlines and rules have been met, right? The dissertation, that's kind of what the product is at the end of this process, and you will be the holder of a terminal degree in your field. So like we said, the doctoral program consists of the year 1, which includes the launch, which introduces you to all the things that are available on campus that all of you at this point are very familiar with. The second stage goes from the end of the first year all the way to candidacy, which is when you defend, form your committee, file the paperwork required to declare who your committee members are. If there's external members, you go ahead and submit applications to the graduate faculty for them. And the documentation required for the stage 3, which is your doctoral dissertation, is going through your program of study, declaring that you want to graduate at the end of the semester, and making sure that the certification of completion of dissertation requirements is signed after you've defended your dissertation. So transitioning from candidacy to dissertation means that you're now ready to start, writing up everything and making a historical record of your work for the world. So just as within the other stages of the doctoral journey, there are requirements, initiatives, and training that are associated with the dissertation phase. We just talked about the requirements. The first one is the program of study. It's never too early to make sure that your entire program of study is sorted out and all your credits required for graduation are covered by the end of the semester you intend to graduate in. Now that the programs of study have been completely mapped out to degree work, you should be able to see this under any format, either the old programs of study that come with the graduate catalog, or if you go through the degree works portal. The certification of completion of dissertation requirements is basically a form that you need to fill that's going to be signed by your committee and then by your supervising professor in your program. By the way, all the underlined bullets in this presentation are clickable links that will take you straight to where you need to go, which should make navigating the website of the graduate school a lot easier as well, so that you have it directly available at your convenience. Now, in terms of some of the initiatives to help you within this phase of completing your dissertation, we have dissertation writing camps, as well as a weekend warrior program to allow for schedule flexibility for those people who are already working. And there are specific guidelines for the final submission of the dissertation itself in terms of where it is and what the format is. And we'll talk about each of those as we go through this presentation. We also care quite a bit about the professional development of our doctoral students. This is your opportunity to make the most of all the professional development initiatives that are available to UTSA students. So make the most of the micro-credentials that are available through Credly. We'll talk about that a little bit. Also, as you line up multiple micro-credentials, you can get micro-credential certificates. For example, if you want to finish your dissertation in one of the sciences and then you want to go into communication, there are micro-credential certificates for communication. So then you're better positioned to go into, for example, technical writing or something along those lines. These are not required. They're available for you to add things as you start beefing up your LinkedIn profiles. And the Credly badges go straight to LinkedIn as well. So it gives you good professional visibility for all the work you've done. So Usually, we recommend that when you're looking at graduation, you kind of look at the deadline for the submission of your dissertation for a given semester. Um, you want to schedule your dissertation defense at least a working week before that, because if your committee has any edits, at least. So in some fields, when it's writing heavy, you might want to schedule it even more in advance. And that dissertation defense, then if there's any edits from the committee, you can kind of complete those by the submission deadline for the dissertation. Now, you need to schedule a date for the dissertation defense well in advance of that. And more importantly, it sometimes gets tricky getting all the members of your committee in the same room at the same time, in the same space and everything else. So please start working on that early. And you need to give them a draft of your dissertation, at least 2 to 3 weeks is most program requirement before your actual dissertation. So you're now at least 4 weeks from the deadline. You need to apply for graduation at the start of the semester. I think you should still be able to do it for the spring, but please make sure this is done. It's a checkbox. And usually we recommend having an advisor and a committee meeting before your dissertation itself, so that there's no surprises. Everybody's been made aware of exactly what progress has been made, if the story's changed or anything like that, and then make sure that your program of study is completely lined up. I am going to give you all the deadline shortly. Okay, so the deadlines for the upcoming cycles, the spring deadline is Tuesday, May the 7th for submitting your dissertation. The summer deadline is Tuesday, August 6th. All of the deadlines are at noon. The fall deadlines for 2024 are December 3rd. The spring is May 6th of 25. And the next summer is August 5th of 25. Okay. So the current thesis and dissertation deadlines are on the graduate school website, and that's the link. So they'll keep getting updated. Now, in preparation, the initiatives includes not just support from the grad school, but also from the UTSA libraries, which offer quite a bit of support for dissertation writing, as well as field-specific citation help, et cetera. So please not only go to the workshops that the libraries have, but also there are college and discipline-specific librarians who are much more well-versed with literature searches, any specific citation styles, et cetera. So please use those resources. And there's the writing camps, which I said we'll talk about a little bit. In terms of your training, this is a terminal degree. You're going to be on the market for whatever it is that comes next, whether it's academia, industry, government work, nonprofit, or anything else that you might choose. And in that sense, it's a great time to burnish your resumes, make your LinkedIn profiles. The graduate space, the grad space, which is on the first floor of the MS building facing the Sombria, right behind the Rowdy statue, is basically where you can take professional headshots. There's a green screen and camera, and you can print resumes and CVs. You can also book that space to take interviews or practice your presentation for the dissertation, right? So that room is reservable by any of the graduate students. So please make use of those facilities. In addition, we really want you all to have career transferable skill sets, not only have the skill sets, but have them in a way that any future employer knows that you have the skill sets. And the micro-credential certificates that I was just talking about are a great way to showcase that. Also, the libraries help you sign up to Google Scholar and ORCID. All of you are going to be, well, authors. So make sure you have your Scholar and ORCID set up. Link it to the institution. Make sure that you are getting enough credit for all your professional work product on professional forums. And this allows you to track the citations as well as publicize the work that you've done and make sure that it's linked to you, the individual, by unique IDs, because, you know, lots of people have similar names. Now, in terms of professional development activities, the grad school continuously has career pathways and well-being series. And if you haven't attended them in the past, it's a great time to go ahead and attend and see if they're being held in disciplines that are closely related to yours or your own. We also have training grant and national award support. There are mini grants from the grad school, travel awards, transdisciplinary team challenges, if you want to participate in something else while you're wrapping up all your writing work. Okay, so what are these micro-credentials I've mentioned so far a few times now? In terms of leadership and professionalism or communication or the career building badge, there's 3 and 1 each, so 5 badges that are very relevant to the last stage of your doctoral journey. And this is also the time when you can kind of rack up completions for collections of badges and, for example, teamwork or scientific conference or citation manager, et cetera. Some of these might be a little more college specific, like the ones for co-ed or educator development. So for the doctoral dissertation, there are links for exactly what the graduation deadlines are, the formatting of the dissertation. You are allowed to format not only in the traditional format where you kind of have chapters laid out one behind the other and references at the end, which typically goes introduction, methods, results, discussion, to actually also have a paper format dissertation where you basically have an introductory chapter, a specific aims chapter, which is about 2 pages, scientific publications or technical reports, as many as you have accomplished, that are lined up, that are already published. You don't need to change format or anything else. They each come with their own references. You're not putting in extra work. And at the end, you write a overall conclusion chapter that's a few pages, 1 to 4, and you have your dissertation that's done. So if you've been one of those people who's publishing along the way, this is a great way to make sure that you use a format that best highlights the work that you've done. Okay. In terms of workshops, there's training videos from past dissertation workshops. There's also the documents on the grad school website that detail the formatting requirements, like the cover pages, the trigger list, the legends for tables, etc. And you're always encouraged to coordinate with UTSA libraries in terms of citation help and other such document administrative aspects. Okay. So for spring 2024, the Dissertation Weekend Warrior program is kind of rotating around different disciplines. And one was held recently. It's a 6-hour program that offers doctoral students a space to discuss goals, time management, writing strategies with their cohort. And it's especially flexible for, like I said, those people who are wrapping up, might be working full-time already or have other responsibilities. There's also subject matter experts from across UTSA who come in and kind of hold mini sessions. The spring 2024 one is scheduled for April 13th from 9 to 3:30 at the JPL Assembly Room. There's a writing camp for spring 24 as well. And the dissertation writing camp typically has faculty champions from all the programs. The one in the spring is going to have all the science and engineering programs, have faculty advocates who come in and they kind of mentor you one-on-one in terms of guidance, not in terms of your research, of course, but in terms of how to get through writing and what approaches might be good, etc. The programs are 4 days from Monday to Thursday over spring break from March 11th to the 14th, again in the JPL, and you're welcome to sign up. So the graduate school now has a calendar that's live with all the events, and there's links directly available there that you can sign on to. And like I said, this presentation's PDF is going to be shared with you all, so you can click on the links as well. But they're all already on the website, so there's no secret links in this presentation. Now, we want to make sure that we look out for your mental health, and at least there's resources on campus that you can reach out to in terms of finding support from your peers, from an institutional and college level as well. There's general sessions, self-care, stress management session, meeting ambassadors. The therapy dogs are a huge hit every semester in terms of hanging out with them. And there's focus groups on well-being research, et cetera. There's also First Fridays, which are in person, both on the downtown and on the main campus. There's a specific activity and table set up, and you can kind of talk about it. Okay, so at the end of your dissertation phase, there's a coin, there's a commencement ceremony. You walk across the stage, your dissertation title is going to be read. Your advisor is going to put the hood around your neck, and you're going to celebrate with family and mariachi. So that's what we're looking forward to. There's going to be a graduation ceremony at the end of the spring. and we really hope to see you there. So if you've attended this session, this is a great time to do the doctoral survey. Please scan the QR code and send us confirmation that you've attended it. That allows us to track and make sure that all the students have actually participated in this. And if there's any questions or concerns regarding any of these things that we've talked about, please feel free to email us at the graduate school, graduate.school@utsa.edu. And like I said, there's a live events calendar that's updated a semester in advance, and there's monthly updates as well that allows you to see what activities are going on and participate with them in them as might be appropriate. Okay, so I'm going to leave this at the QR code, and I'm going to stop recording and go ahead and take any questions.